Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to get ready together, and I'm also doing a Q&A style video. I put on a YouTube community tab and on Instagram, and I asked you guys if you wanted to see this video and to leave me your questions. And I had so many people respond together. YouTube and Instagram, I think, was over 100 questions, and I was so thankful because I was so scared that nobody would participate and I'd just be, I don't know, just chilling by myself. But you guys really had so many good questions, and yeah, I'm excited to do this video. So if you guys are interested, please continue watching. Grab something to drink. My husband's making me my drink. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe down below. You want to tell us what you did?
Yeah, did you show them?
No.
Okay, so tonight I made her favorite drink, the Pear Martini. You make it by first taking 1/4 of a pear, squishing it up in the shaker.
You have to look up there. Don't look at yourself down there.
So you squish up the pear and in the shaker, and then you put 1.5 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of prickly pear liqueur, and then you do 1/2 ounce of amaretto, 1/2 ounce of lemon.
That's a lot of alcohol.
It is a lot. That's why you like it so much.
Yeah, that's why it's my favorite.
And then you put some ice and shake it up, and then I usually strain it to into the glass. And then you put a little pear in there. So
it won't focus. It focuses on us.
There we go. Important stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Andrew. It's my husband. Okay.
I like to be on that side of the camera.
Yeah, he does not like to be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But
so drag me in here.
But okay, people want to know how we met.
Oh, well, I beat her brother at a game of Call of Duty, and he said, "You need to meet my sister." So I met her.
And
then
we met in New Year's Eve. That's when we met.
Yes.
And
she was visiting her brother.
Yes. And
I was friends with him before at church.
And you keep looking at yourself
I do.
down there. Look up there. We were married. We got engaged in... Wait, when did we get engaged?
It was June.
June. At least one of us knows. And officially married in July, and then church married in August.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it. We have 4 kids, and that's it. The rest is history.
Yep.
Okay, bye.
Okay. I'll take the drink, right?
No.
Okay.
And yes, it is at the end of the day here. We're not drinking in the morning. And it may sound like we're alcoholics, but I only have a drink here and there once or twice a week. And my husband got into cocktails, and they're so good. All right, so I had a lot of questions about how I met my husband, how many kids I have, so a lot of personal life. Also, a lot of questions about my ethnicity, where I am from, and all that. So I am originally from Romania. I grew up there, and I moved to US when I was 18. And now I'm 32 years old. And yeah, I've lived here for 14 years now. I initially moved to Virginia, then I moved to North Carolina after like 1.5 years. Moved there with a Romanian family that pretty much adopted me, not on papers, but they're my family here. And then I met my husband, and I've been living in Nashville for 9.5 years now. A lot of questions about the transition from from Romania to US and how that was. And, it was hard in some ways. I was 18. I still had all my friends in Romania, and I moved here with a part of my family, not everybody. So it wasn't easy. I think the social aspect was the hardest part. Just me coming from such a big family, I'm one of 6, and having a community there and leaving everything behind, it was hard. And coming to different culture. Romanians are very different than Americans, just as a culture. Romanians tend to be in each other's business all the time, but they're very tight community. So when I moved to North Carolina, should I put some makeup on? I think we should. When I moved to North Carolina, I stayed with this family that the parents grew up with my dad, but I didn't know them. And they just took me in, and we quickly, they're my family now. And, that's just Romanians, you're very tight, but then everybody's definitely in everybody's business. But that just comes with the fact that we're so close as people. And yeah, I missed that, and I still miss it. For me, it wasn't the easiest to not connect to Americans per se, but just the culture was a shock. It's a little bit more like individualist here. Is that the right word? People are just more like, okay, you're 18, you kind of move out, you get a job, you do all these things. Where in Romania, some people still live with their parents, like their grandparents, like move in their house. So the culture is very different, but there's a lot of good, in America as well. But for me, that was the biggest shock, is how separated it felt to me, like people lived. And also the fact that you need a car to go anywhere. And I came here without a driver's license. I didn't have where to go. I didn't know much of anybody. It was hard to meet people, and that was hard for me. Moving to North Carolina definitely helped me because I was in a Romanian community. And the family there already had 5 kids, so it was definitely easy for me to get involved there. But after that, moving to Nashville was probably the hardest part. I got married, moved to Nashville. My brother was probably like 30 minutes away from where I was living, and just overall the social aspect was very hard. The first 6 months were a little bit awful just because I didn't have any friends here. I obviously had my husband, but we were newlyweds. We didn't really know each other very well either. We were just married within 7 months, 7-8 months we were married. So we loved each other and everything, but we just didn't have common friends. He's more of a private person. He doesn't need a lot of friends. I'm the opposite. I need friends around me, and that was very hard. So I would say the transition wasn't the hardest moving to America because I was around Romanians, but moving to Nashville was hard. And to anybody that moves away from home, from their loved ones, you know how hard it is. You know that it's just not easy not having your family, and just changing cultures as well. It's even harder. And for me, it took me years and years to, it sounds bad, but understand Americans and the culture, because it is so different. I couldn't wrap my head around why they do certain things here. But, it took just time for me to learn. And, here I am, married to an American. So that's kind of a little bit brief history of where I'm from, and just the move from Romania to US. Again, if I were to pick one thing that was the hardest, is the social life, for sure. After my husband and I got married, I got pregnant, and we miscarried further along, And that was very hard on me. And, my grief, my husband and I were talking, okay, like, what if you go back to school? What if you go and get your license, your cosmetology license here in America, and within a week after we found out that I lost the baby, I was already in school. I was still miscarrying, and I just started my cosmetology school. I decided to go to Aveda. It was kind of a brand new school here in Nashville, and it was the best decision I made. I met my best friends there, and a whole new world opened up to me. I got to meet so many people. I was in my element again. I have been doing hair and makeup before, but this way I would be official in America, and it just helped with grieving, with social life. I loved what I was doing, and best decision I made. So that's kind of my history of where I'm from and how I arrived here and how my husband and I met and all that. We have 4 kids. I have a 7-year-old daughter. Her name is Mara, and I did mention her in my channel a little bit because she has had spinal surgery in May, and I think I did mention it on my channel. And she's in a wheelchair and a walker, so she's kind of, her legs are like, she can't walk by herself, but she is strong enough to use a walker from time to time. But when we go on long walks or stuff like that, she needs her wheelchair. And she has a genetic mutation. It's very rare. There's about, at this point, probably 10 people in the world that we know of that have been diagnosed with this mutation. And we actually got to get connected with some families that have children like her, which is sweet, and it makes you feel less alone. Then I have a 5-year-old. She's also a girl. The first one's a girl. The second one's a girl. She's 5.5 right now. And then I have another girl. She is, she's 4. And then I have a little boy that's 9 months old. So yeah, those are our kids, and they're the sweetest ever. The girls really are just so sweet, and makes life easier a little bit. Having a sibling with special needs, I think, has made the girls, my middle and third, just, I wouldn't say grow up faster, but find that life isn't all roses, and they learn responsibility, they saw pain, and I think it makes them even sweeter at heart, because they don't even question when Mara drops something. They automatically go and pick it up for her and give it to her. They don't even wait for me to ask them to do that. So I think that's very sweet, and it's something that I love that they have that like in their blood right now. So that's my family. I had quite a few questions about the family, and that's kind of fast roundup about that. Most of my family siblings are in Romania. I have one brother here that he has 5 kids, and he lives like 3 houses from me. We are obviously very tight. And it's been such a blessing to have them nearby. And dare I say, we've been such a blessing for them. Now let's move on to YouTube. Lots of questions about YouTube, why I started, how did I start, and all that. And I was about 7 months pregnant during a pandemic, and I had some like pregnancy complications where I had to rest a little bit more. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Not do anything, just sit at home. So I was watching a lot of makeup videos at the time. I was watching Michelle Wong, I was watching Tara Lynn, I was watching Mel, I was watching Morgan, Patty, like I was watching just that whole group. And I remember Michelle like showing just her camera setup and talking about finances and YouTube, and she just quit her job. And Carolyn was talking a little bit about that as well. And I looked at my husband and I was like, I wonder if I could do that. I mean, I have experience in makeup. It's my profession. It's what I do. And he's like, oh, absolutely. So he was already starting to look at lighting and cameras and just setup and all that while I wasn't even deciding. I was still deciding on if I just even wanted to do that. Look at the highlighter. It's so pretty. So I would say that my husband is the one that completely pushed me and was like, just try it. How bad can it be? If, you don't like it, you don't like it. And so I did it. I always knew I would like it and enjoy it. I was afraid of just mean comments. And I was afraid of failing. So I think those two things definitely made me think about it for almost a year, I've always thought about it, but I've never really considered that it could be an option. And after seeing some of the YouTubers just talk about their story and just how they kind of were like me, they were kind of afraid in the beginning and they just did it. And it just helped me, push me to, whoa, this Charlotte Tilbury better not fall. It just helped me push me enough to make me want to do it. I had a lot of questions about like practical stuff about YouTube, about how did you know how to edit or lighting or camera or things like that. And honestly, I don't know. It's my husband that does all that. He is in IT. He's a programmer, and he already had been working with like Final Cut Pro. So he knew that and he taught me all that. In the beginning, he would edit my videos, and then I slowly, one thing at a time, I learned how to cut videos, and then I learned how to put them together, and then I learned sound, and one thing at a time, because I was getting overwhelmed. So that's just the way it is. We don't know everything, so we just learn one thing at a time. I'm going to use my Natasha Denona Gold because it's back in stock. I'm so excited. It's my favorite Natasha Denona palette. I adore it, and I'm considering getting a backup just in case it doesn't come back. I had questions about like, how can you afford products? Is it expensive to start YouTube? And just details like that, like practical details. Because many of you said, oh, I've been thinking about just starting my channel, and I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I can do it. Like, just ask practical questions. So I would say that you do not need the fanciest to start. I started with my iPhone. That's what I was using. That mirror's a pain. I started with, again, my iPhone. My husband did buy me a microphone. I use a condenser microphone. That's about all I know. Because the sound on the iPhone I felt like sucked. So yeah, we started with that. And once I started really getting into it and loving it, I decided to invest in a camera because I saw myself doing this for a while. I didn't want to invest in a camera and products and things like that until I knew that I enjoyed it. What if I started it and absolutely hated being in front of a camera? But I don't. I actually love it. I feel very chill. And the more I do it, the more chill I think I become. And I think that's just normal. That's just human nature. You become a bit more comfortable with yourself. In the beginning, listening to my voice was torture. I absolutely hated listening to myself talk, mostly because I have an accent. And I know people say, oh, I love your accent. I hate it. I absolutely hated it. But you just get used to it and you get better at it. So I started, it hasn't been a year yet. December is going to be a year since I started YouTube. And I am loving it. I love that I can create something where I don't have to go to work. I can be at home and create something. I'm a very creative person, even just doing hair or makeup. It's definitely just so creative and so fulfilling. So, yeah, with technology, now I do have a camera. We invested in a better lens and we have a lighting situation. I know you guys loved the last video that had natural light. And I would love to be able to record all in natural light, but at this point in my life, it's very hard with little ones. Oh, it's so pretty. But I do think from time to time, when the kids are napping just at the right time, or the girls are in school and the baby's sleeping, I could definitely record more natural light. So yeah, now we had invested a little bit in the YouTube. And I think it's well worth it. I'm not a full-time YouTuber at all. I work in a salon. I do hair in a salon and I do makeup for events, weddings, photo shoots, anything like that. I do all that. And then YouTube is kind of on the side. Now, I don't think that is doable for a long time. I don't think I can do them all and have 4 children that I have to take care of. So that was another question that I saw over and over again. How do you manage children, YouTube, career, wife, all that? And I don't. I think it's hard. It's the hardest part. And I think for now I'm okay. I've learned kind of when to record. I record either at night. Right now it is nighttime. That's why I do have a drink. It's not morning time. Or I record during nap times, or I record early in the morning. I think it's hard, but if I really focus on it, I can definitely do it. And I'm kind of a determined person. If I decide to do something, I will do it, even if it's uncomfortable and hard. I will stick with it. But it's not easy. It's really not easy. And I think the key with YouTube is that you need to be consistent. And that's the hardest thing for me. Being consistent and posting 3 times a week at certain hours, having a schedule. It's just not doable right now because I don't know if my kids is going to nap or not, So if they don't nap, like, you do not want me to record when they're awake. So yeah, that's kind of the reality. You manage, motherhood comes first, then it's work, and then it's YouTube. I truly believe, the world's best husband. And I cannot tell you how much he has done for me and how much he has helped with the house, with the kids, in order for me to be able to record. And just helped me in so many ways. Getting me a drink is like the smallest thing he does for me. He does so much and sacrifices so much of himself for me to be able to do this. And I don't know, he truly believes in me. He truly believes that I could be good at this and that I could make this a career if I wanted to. And I think it's because of him that I can do it. And that's honestly why I can do this. I know so many women out there are single mothers and they're struggling. And not everybody has Andrew by his side to help them. So how I manage it because of him. I had actually quite a few questions about what is your goal with YouTube? What is your biggest dream or greatest outcome of being on social media? Just a lot about my YouTube career. And let me tell you, I so dislike social media. I really never liked it. I am not good at Instagram. I'm trying my hardest. I don't like it. It doesn't come naturally for me to do Instagram, for example. So for me, YouTube is so much easier because I can record, edit. It's like creating something. And I love that part of YouTube. Instagram, I almost feel like you constantly have to post. I don't know. It's just not me. It's harder, Instagram for me. But I know it's necessary. So I'm doing my best. I also am trying to keep my kids out of it, which is such a huge part of who I am and my life. And it's hard to Instagram, like when you have like your kids around you pretty much all the time. So yeah, I'm not excited about social media. However, YouTube, it's still social media, but it's not the same as Instagram. So my dreams for YouTube, I think I would like to be able to not have to work another job. I would love for YouTube to be able to support where I am in life. At this point, I am able to purchase things and YouTube cover that. Like, so what I make off of YouTube and links will cover the products that I use in my channel. But that's about it. I don't really make profit at this point, but I do think the time will come, and that is a goal of mine. But my goals are small. I think it's just, right now my goal is to get to 5,000, and I just can't even wrap my head around being at 5,000 subscribers. So I don't have this huge, big goal. I just have little goals. And my goal is to reach 5,000 and respond and interact with everybody. I think that's such an important part of YouTube for me, just communicating. I feel like I've already built relationship with some of you guys that I couldn't even think that that's a possibility without actually meeting people. So that is such a sweet part of YouTube. So those are my goals right now. I don't want to think too far ahead. I'm hoping I can do this for a while, but family comes first. So if something happens with my family, or I'm just too overwhelmed and I need to bring money by working in a salon, it's just how life is. But right now it's going great. I love it. I'm not planning to quit or anything. I'm planning to be more organized and just have a schedule eventually. But yeah, that's kind of my goal on YouTube. A good question is, what's your biggest fear? And absolutely 100% my children getting hurt. Like somebody hurting my children. That is the biggest fear I have in life, period. I have so many questions about being a working mom, YouTube, and my schedule. So I do want to do a vlog style video where let me find a mascara first. I would love to do a vlog where I kind of show you guys my day, kind of how it's going and what I do. So I kind of touched a little bit on this. Like, I try to film when the kids are sleeping, or evening or early morning. I am not a morning person, so that's hard for me, but sometimes I do it. Mondays, for example, I work pretty much almost all day. So I may have some time in the morning to edit. I am a night owl, so I will edit a lot at night. And then Monday's gone. I literally go to work and I don't come home till 8, 9, 10 o'clock sometimes at night. Because I try to do all my days, just long days, but not go in as much. And that just works for my husband's schedule, for my schedule, and the kids. On a day where I don't work, I drop off the kids at school or take my daughter to therapy. We go to therapy pretty much every day, 4 or 5 times a week. Come home, probably record. At this point, my baby's probably asleep, and I will record, try to edit as soon as I stop recording, as much as I can. But it's a hit or miss. My husband does work from home, so that helps, because if the baby's napping, I can go grocery shopping or something like that, or go to therapy with my daughter, or just whatever is needed, and that is physical therapy. So yeah, that's kind of my morning. Then obviously we make dinner, clean. I feel like I never stop. I never stop. I don't ever just sit and hang out and do nothing. Very rarely. That happens very, very rarely. But that's on a day when I don't work. And I love those days because I can actually sit down and record and just enjoy doing all that. Not today, for example, it's an evening. So I couldn't record during the day. So I have to record in the evening, which I actually love because it is so much more relaxing. I'm not stressed on time and I can just chit chat. And I knew this video would be so much talking that I didn't want to do it during the day where I knew the kids can wake up any second. I'm actually going to do a red. I've seen a couple people request more red lips and I'm going to do it. This is the Lisa Eldridge Velvet Dragon, and it is such beautiful red. All right, the makeup is done. This is such a beautiful lip color. Let me answer a few more questions. Do I get negative comments? Yes, rarely. I don't get many. When I started YouTube, one of my biggest fear was the negative comments and how will that impact me. But my husband then I decided, you know what? Like if it starts getting bad, my husband's just gonna read them and delete them and block the people. But we didn't get to that point. I don't have to have him read my comments because I can count on one hand the negative comments. Like constructive criticism, I welcome and I think it's needed. There's no way I can grow without that. But mean comments, delete and like block the people without a question. I had quite a few questions about my career, how I started makeup. So I actually took a makeup class. It was like a 3-month program when I came to America, and that was fine. I would say that it was unnecessary. It kind of taught me more hygienic stuff and basics. And then if you wanted to go more towards wedding or events, or if you wanted to do just movies or special effect makeup, you could specialize in those. And I definitely moved towards events, weddings. It's just what I enjoy, and some photo shoots and things like that. But I would say what really did it for me was going to cosmetology school and being in Nashville when Nashville wasn't cool. So I went in 2014. I graduated cosmetology school here, and I feel like Nashville wasn't as big as it is now. So I got to meet a lot of hairstylists and makeup artists and get connected. I worked with an agency as well. And that just helps you know people. And word of mouth is really big. Like my biggest jobs were because of word of mouth. I actually don't really do social media for my makeup almost at all because I'm not good at photographing makeup, and I just find it stresses me out more, and I don't find the need to do it. But yeah, I do a lot of weddings and events, makeup mostly. I also work in a hair salon, so that is where I would say like my full-time job would be. I would say that being in a salon is, I wouldn't say it's easier money because you can make more money on a wedding or an event, mostly when you charge per hour, but it's more stable. So having children, it's easier for me to know what my schedule looks like. You know, sometimes you get a job New Year's Eve and you don't want to say no. It's somebody famous and it's a lot of money or something like that you're like, I kind of want to take that job. But with kids, it's kind of not, it's not the easiest. So having this salon for me was just helping me keep me organized and keep a consistent paycheck for our family. So I still do events and makeups and things like that on the side, but not as much as I did before doing salon work consistently. My sister who lives in Romania asked, which one of your sisters do you miss the most? I will not answer that because both sisters, or all three sisters, are watching. And of course, we have to answer one of the most liked question, and that is just how attractive is your husband? Please be specific. My husband wrote that. If you ever see a comment by Andrew Wells, that's my husband. He always has these smart comments like, ooh, the lighting is so good. The thumbnail is great. The editing is great. He does all that. And he's just so funny. A question that I thought is kind of interesting is what YouTubers I like to watch. So I'm just looking through my channels in Michelle Wong, Morgan Turner, Tara Lynn, Patty Alonso. I think that's the right name. I love Jamie Page. I like her vibe. I like Charlotte Holdcroft. I feel like I'm butchering these names, but I've been watching them for years. Mel Thompson. I actually have sometimes her videos just playing in the background. Just because it helps the family, just let all those ads play. Julia Adams, I really enjoy her makeup style and she's just so peaceful. Another girl that I really like is Alexa Blake. She is very calming. Her skin, she does super glowy skin. I really like it. So there's these are just Audrey Michelle. She's a smaller YouTuber, but I really enjoy her just happy personality. Ilinka, she's another Romanian that does YouTube here. I just have discovered smaller YouTubers that I really enjoy watching. I know they pour their hearts into it and I love it. Hayes Jacqueline, Gabe Loves Makeup. I learned about him from Tara Lynn. Kate the Great Beauty. I mean, that woman, I just laugh so hard every time I watch her videos. So there's more, but that's kind of the people I watch. A lot of the questions were revolving around motherhood and work and YouTube and how do I manage that time. And you just do it. If you really want something to work, you just work at it. I do stay up in the evenings a lot. I'll stay up till 1, 2, 3 in the morning, sometimes editing to get the video prepared for the next day. However, I am a night owl, so that is not very difficult. I naturally stay up till 12, 1. But I'm also pretty chill, laid back person with timing. I don't really stress over timing. I'm not super organized and I just do things. I think most creative people are kind of like that. We just do it. So I'm really working on trying to stay organized and just having videos consistently, which is, I think, the biggest key with YouTube. But you just do it. Whatever works for your timing and how, if you want to start YouTube and you have time for one video a week is enough, as long as you're consistent, as long as people know what to expect from you. And I have a great husband that helps so much and I couldn't do it without him. And I just take one step at a time and you could do it too. If you want to, if you're interested, just try it. You may hate it. And if you hate it, there you go. But if you love it, you're gonna find that passion. You're gonna want to work a little harder at it and just invest in it, because I think if you like it, other people will see that you enjoy it and they probably would want to be around you. And just hang out with you. So I encourage everybody who has been thinking about it, has a passion, just do it. Don't overthink it, just do it, and one day at a time. If it's too much, it's too much and you stop. You will never know until you try it. All right, I have talked way too much about myself in this video. I would love to hear about you, where you from. I love hearing that, in the comments where you guys tell me where you're from. It's just so fascinating to me that we can connect when we're thousands of miles away. So give it a like if you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.